Alright, welcome to another lecture series, and today we'll be looking at types of cell. Cells of plants derived from a meristem acquire the distinctive characteristics through developmental stages and become specialized to various degrees. Okay, the meristem is the point of cell formation, the point of growth, where there is consistent division of cells, and those cells become developed through different stages and become specialized to various degrees. And now we want to look at these types of cells that are in a plant. What are the types of cells that are in a plant? We have the epidermis. The epidermis cells make a continuous layer on the surface of the plant body in primary state of a plant. They are often tabular in shape. Other types of epidermal cells are guard cells, various trichomes and root hairs. The cuticle is present on the outer layer or wall of epidermal cell of the area part of the plant. The epidermis is that cell that covers the plant. Okay, it's a single layer cell that is continuous all over the plant. Some parts have chlorophyll, some parts do not have chlorophyll. Those ones that have chlorophyll are the ones that are called guard cells. They are mainly found on the leaves, and through which gaseous exchange to take place. Okay, so we have trichomes, we have root hairs, we have glandular hairs, we have several kinds of epidermal structures which all form around the plant. We also have the periderm, which consists of the phloem, the phloem, and the phloem. The phloem develops in the epidermis, the cortex, the phloem, or the root pericycle, and produces phloem toward the outside and phloem towards the inside. Cork cells are commonly tabular in shape. The cells of phloem are usually parenchymatous. This periderm is mainly associated with secondary growth of plants. At the onset of secondary growth, begin to have the periderm, and in certain cases you will lose the epidermis at this stage of formation. Excuse me. So the periderm is another form of cell, another type of cell rather. We have the parenchyma. The parenchyma cells are living cells capable of growth and division. They vary in shape, generally polyhedral and rounded. They form continuous tissues in the cortex of stem and roots and in the leaf of mesophyll. These cells are continuous, are concerned with photosynthesis and storage, wound healing, and origin of adventitious structures. Okay, so they are living cells that are capable of growth and division. All right, we have the parenchyma cells. We also have the collenchyma cell. These cells make a living tissue closely related to parenchyma cell. It is regarded as a form of parenchyma specialized as supportive tissue of young organs. The cells are prismatic to much elongated in shape. The presence of unevenly thickened primary walls is the most distinctive character. The cells occur in strands or continuous cylinders near the surface of the cotyledon of the cortex rather. Excuse me. Of the cortex, in stems and petioles and along veins of leaves. We also have the sclerenchyma. These cells possess thick lignified secondary walls and lack protoplasm at maturity. The strengthened elements of mature plants may occur in small masses or in continuous groups or individually among other cells. There are two forms of sclerenchyma cells. We have the sclerites and the fibers. Also, the xylem is another type of cell. These cells make up a complex tissue in association with phloem cells. It is continuous throughout the plant body, may be primary or secondary in origin. It is concerned with water conduction, storage, and support. The principal conducting cells are the tracheids and vessels. We have the phloem as well, of which are made up of sieve tubes and sieve elements. Okay, it is concerned with the translocation of solutes and storage food. Alright, and it also have an associated cells such as the companion cells. The latticifers is another interesting type of cells. These cells contain latex and they are multinucleate. There are two kinds of cells. We have the articulated and non-articulated latticifers. The former are formed through union of cells in which part of the walls are dissolved. Thereafter, the latter The later are single cells. The later are single cells, much branched, with much branching. What it means is that there are two types. The articulated are cells that are fused together, okay, with series of nucleus existing in that chain of cells forming together, forming a strand. Sometimes they form a strand or a certain pathway whereby these materials such as the latex, resins, gums, and other things are found inside. We have the non-articulated ones which fuse together from end to end, all right, and those ones, they have one nucleus per cell, all right. The articulated latifiers may be primary or secondary in origin, while non-articulated are primary only in origin. All right, we have the cell types. We have the parenchyma tissue, the collenchyma tissue, the sclerenchyma tissue. Kindly look at the differences in terms of their components, the labeling. You see the differences. This is what epidermal cell look like. We have an example of an epidermal cell, which is the guide cell. We have an example of the latifiers. We have the articulated type, and we have the non-articulated. This is the non-articulated, where they are fused together end to end, and then we have the articulated type where you see everything flowing together. These ones, they are in one different direction, but these, they are articulated together, linked up together. All right. We have the periderm. After a cork, we have the cork cambium, the phylloderm. All of this is the periderm. No more epidermis. Development of periderm at the early stage of development, at the mature stage of development. You see it. You have the epidermis still here growing with it. As it's developing, at a point in time, the epidermis will disappear. All right. So this is the cell type, the lecture for the types of cells. In subsequent lecture, we'll look at the tissue and then do more in tissue discussion. So thank you, and see you in next class.